What if everything you think you know about America is only half the story? The country often called United States is known for Hollywood, freedom, technology, and global power. Millions dream of visiting it. Millions more dream of living there. But behind the bright lights, the famous cities, and the powerful image of the United States government, there are secrets, strange facts, and hidden stories that most people around the world have never heard. Some of these secrets are buried in history. Some are hidden in plain sight, and some are so surprising that even many Americans themselves don't know them. In today's video, we are going to uncover 10 shocking secrets about America that most people don't know. Some will amaze you, some might confuse you, and a few might completely change how you see this powerful nation. But be careful, because secret number 7 might be the most shocking of them all. Let's begin. Secret number 1. America almost had a completely different name. Today, the country is known as the United States of America, or simply America. But very few people know that when European explorers first arrived on the continent, the land could have ended up with a completely different name. The name America actually comes from an Italian explorer named Amerigo Vespucci. In the early 1500s, Vespucci explored parts of the New World and wrote letters, explaining that these lands were not Asia, as many people believed, but an entirely new continent. His writings became extremely popular in Europe. In 1507, a German mapmaker named Martin Waldseemüller created a world map and decided to honor Vespucci by naming the new continent America. And just like that, the name stuck. But here's the surprising part. The land had already been discovered and explored by others long before Vespucci. For example, the famous explorer Christopher Columbus reached the Americas in 1492. Even earlier than that, historians believe Viking explorer Leif Erikson reached North America around the year 1000. And long before any Europeans arrived, millions of indigenous people were already living across the continent. So the question many historians ask is, why was the continent named after Amerigo Vespucci instead of these earlier explorers? Some historians believe it was simply a historical accident. Others think Vespucci's writings were so influential that mapmakers felt his name deserved recognition. Whatever the reason, if history had unfolded slightly differently, the country we call America today might have been known by a completely different name. Secret number 2. The U.S. has a town with almost no laws. When people think about America, they imagine strict laws, powerful police forces, and organized government systems. But there is one strange place where things are very different. In the state of New Hampshire, there was once a small town called Grafton that became famous for a strange social experiment. A group of libertarians decided they wanted to create a town with almost no government rules. Their idea was simple. Less government means more freedom. So many libertarians moved to Grafton and began reducing regulations and taxes. At first, it seemed like a dream. People enjoyed the freedom. There were fewer restrictions. And many believed they had created the perfect example of liberty. But then something unexpected happened. Without strong regulations, garbage management became a problem. Food waste began piling up in open areas. And that attracted bears. Lots of bears. Soon, black bears began roaming through the town regularly. Some residents even started feeding them intentionally. The result? More bears, more danger, and more chaos. Eventually, authorities had to step in and restore stronger regulations. The experiment became a strange reminder that even in a country famous for freedom, some rules might actually be necessary. And those were only the first 2 secrets. But what comes next becomes even stranger, because the next secret involves a place in America where the government officially owns an underground city designed for the end of the world. And almost nobody knows about it. Secret number 3. The hidden underground city built for the apocalypse. Imagine a massive underground city, hidden deep beneath a luxury hotel, built secretly by the government. This might sound like a science fiction movie, but it is actually real. Under the famous The Greenbrier, the government of the United States secretly constructed a gigantic underground bunker. This secret facility was designed during the Cold War to protect members of the United States Congress in case of a nuclear war. The bunker was massive. It contained dormitories, meeting rooms, medical facilities, communication centers, and even a large chamber where Congress could continue running the government after a nuclear attack. In other words, if the world above was destroyed, the government could continue operating underground. For decades, the bunker remained completely secret. Employees at the hotel believed that the workers maintaining the facility were simply technicians or maintenance staff. But in reality, many of them were secretly government personnel keeping the bunker ready at all times. The secret finally became public in 1992 when a journalist exposed the hidden facility. After the revelation, the bunker was decommissioned as a top-secret shelter. Today, visitors can actually tour the once-secret bunker beneath the Greenbrier. But the question still remains: how many other hidden facilities like this exist across America? When people think of nuclear weapons, they imagine them being carefully controlled and protected at all times. But history tells a different story. During the Cold War, the United States experienced several terrifying accidents involving nuclear weapons. One of the most shocking incidents happened in 1961 near Goldsboro. A military bomber carrying 2 nuclear bombs suddenly broke apart in the sky. The bombs fell toward the ground. One of them went through several stages of its arming process. In fact, according to later reports, 5 of the 6 safety mechanisms failed. Only a single safety switch prevented the bomb from detonating. If that final switch had failed, the explosion could have been hundreds of times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. During World War II, experts later estimated that such an explosion could have destroyed a huge portion of the eastern United States. Millions of lives might have been affected. The incident remained classified for many years before details slowly became public. And it reminds us of something chilling. Sometimes history is shaped not by careful planning, but by a single safety switch that didn't fail. Secret number 5. One of the world's largest gold reserves is hidden in America. Deep inside a heavily guarded vault in Fort Knox, the United States Treasury stores one of the largest gold reserves on Earth. The vault is famous for being almost impossible to break into. Its walls are made of thick granite and reinforced steel. The vault door alone weighs more than 20 tons. Security around the facility is incredibly strict. Armed guards patrol the area. Electronic surveillance systems monitor every movement, and access to the vault requires multiple codes held by different people. But here's the mysterious part. Very few outsiders have ever seen the gold inside. For decades, conspiracy theories have circulated claiming that the vault might not contain as much gold as people believe. Some even speculate that the gold could be missing. However, the U.S. government insists that the gold is safely stored inside the vault. Whether the rumors are true or not, Fort Knox has become a symbol of ultimate security. In fact, when people want to describe something extremely secure, they often say, "It's guarded like Fort Knox." And now we are halfway through the list. But the secrets ahead become even more mysterious. Because next, we will reveal a strange place in America, where gravity itself seems to behave differently. A place where people appear to lean at impossible angles, and scientists still struggle to fully explain it. Secret number 6. The mysterious gravity hill that confuses visitors. Imagine standing in a place where gravity seems to behave strangely. A place where water appears to flow uphill, where people can lean at impossible angles, and where balls roll in directions that don't seem logical. This strange place exists in the state of California, and it's known as Mystery Spot. The Mystery Spot was discovered in 1939, when surveyors noticed that their instruments were giving unusual readings in a small forested area. Soon, curious visitors began arriving to see the strange effects for themselves. Inside the area, people feel as if gravity is pulling them sideways instead of downward. Visitors often appear to stand tilted at strange angles. Even objects placed on flat surfaces sometimes roll in unexpected directions. Scientists believe the phenomenon is caused by optical illusions created by the tilted buildings and unusual landscape. But even today, many visitors leave the place feeling confused, because no matter how much logic explains it, when you stand inside the mystery spot, your brain insists that something very strange is happening. Secret number 7. The Pentagon is one of the world's largest office buildings. When people think about powerful places in America, they often imagine the White House, but there is another building that quietly controls one of the most powerful military forces on Earth. That building is the Pentagon. Located in Arlington, the Pentagon serves as the headquarters of the United States Department of Defense, and it is enormous. The building contains about 6.5 million square feet of floor space. It has 5 sides, 5 floors, and 5 concentric rings of corridors. Inside the Pentagon, there are more than 17 miles of hallways. Every day, tens of thousands of military personnel and civilian employees work there. Yet, despite its size, the building is designed so efficiently that it takes only about 7 minutes to walk between any 2 points inside. The Pentagon also became part of world history during the tragic events of September 11 attacks in 2001. That day, the building was targeted in one of the most shocking terrorist attacks ever carried out on American soil. But despite the damage, the Pentagon was repaired and continues to operate today as one of the most important military command centers in the world. Secret for 8. America has a desert with moving rocks. In a remote desert in California, something strange happens that puzzled scientists for decades. In Death Valley National Park, there is a place called Racetrack Playa. Here, large rocks slowly move across the desert floor, leaving long trails behind them. The strange part? Nobody was ever seen pushing them. For many years, scientists had no explanation. Some people suggested magnetic forces. Others believed powerful winds were responsible. A few even proposed supernatural explanations. But in 2014, researchers finally solved the mystery. During rare winter conditions, thin sheets of ice form on the desert surface. When sunlight melts the ice, gentle winds push the floating ice sheets, and the rocks slowly slide across the wet ground. The movement is extremely slow, sometimes just a few inches per minute. So slow that visitors rarely notice it happening. But the trails left behind prove that the rocks are indeed moving. Nature had created a mystery that confused people for decades. Using nothing more than ice, wind, and time, only 2 secrets remain. But the final secrets might be the most surprising, because one of them reveals that the United States once planned a bizarre military project involving bats carrying bombs. Yes, bats. And the final secret might completely change how you think about American history. Secret number 9. The U.S. once planned to use bats as bombs. During World War II, scientists and military leaders in the United States were searching for unusual ways to defeat their enemies. One of the strangest ideas ever proposed was a project called Project X-ray. The plan was surprisingly bizarre. Scientists wanted to attach tiny incendiary bombs to bats. Yes, real bats. The idea worked like this. Thousands of bats would be placed inside special containers and dropped from airplanes over enemy cities. As the containers opened in the sky, the bats would fly away and hide inside buildings, roofs, and wooden structures. Then the small bombs attached to them would ignite. The goal was to start hundreds or even thousands of fires across the city at the same time. Researchers believed this could cause massive damage. The project was taken seriously and even tested in the desert. In fact, during one test, some bats escaped early and accidentally set fire to part of a military base. Despite some promising results, the project was eventually canceled. Why? Because another secret project had begun showing much faster progress. That project would soon become known as the Manhattan Project, and the weapon it produced would change the world forever. Secret number 10. The United States has more empty land than you think. When people imagine America, they often picture huge cities like New York City, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Skyscrapers, highways, millions of people everywhere. But the truth is very different. The United States is one of the largest countries on Earth, covering about 9.8 million square kilometers. Yet huge portions of the country are almost completely empty. In places like Alaska, entire regions contain more wildlife than humans. Vast forests, mountains, deserts, and plains stretch for hundreds of miles without major cities. In fact, if the population of the United States were evenly spread across the land, many areas would still feel surprisingly empty. This is one reason the country still has enormous natural parks such as Yellowstone National Park and Grand Canyon. These places protect huge areas of untouched nature. So while the world often sees America as a land of giant cities, much of the country remains wild, quiet, and largely unexplored. And those were 10 secrets about America that most people don't know. From hidden underground bunkers, to mysterious moving rocks, to bizarre wartime experiments involving bats, the United States is filled with surprising stories that many people have never heard. And the truth is, there are still many mysteries about this powerful country that remain undiscovered. because history always hides more secrets than we expect. If you enjoy discovering these hidden secrets, make sure to subscribe to VOA TV History and Mystery for more fascinating stories about history, mysteries, and unbelievable facts from around the world. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who loves uncovering hidden secrets, because the next mystery might be even more shocking.